me outside the bed just like play. Drinking the rum, no chaser, no chaser. Bring the behavior, excuse me. It's me and the team outside, yeah. Once a year we just play the mass, so baby don't try to style me. I promise to take a small wine this time, but I'm not on that. I will take a jam and go through. Girl, one wine I go hurt you. Maybe I'm back, nothing can stop me from my fun, no. Later, we go fix this argument later. Right now my vibes are set for the road. Later, we go fix them nonsense later. So fast for now, I just watch a man a bumper right there. Party up for the whole day. You know I'm free outside the feathers lively. Drinking the rum, no chaser. Bring the behavior, excuse me. It's me and the team outside, yeah.
WEFM. WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All righty, so time here on SVJ is 9:27, and we are in our Talk to Us segment for this morning. In studio, you have Dianna, Cain, Dr. Gerald Thompson, and myself, Roleza Samuel, your host for today. And as usual, the lines are open. The number to call is 457-9997. If you wish to get interactive with us, you can pose a brand new topic to us, or it could be something that we previously discussed that you want to elaborate on, or maybe just to get our other opinions on, all right? So the phone lines are open. And again, the number to call is 457-9997, all right? So we are going to not even do a countdown. All right. Hi, Joshua.
I am dead in, believe it or not.
You're dead in?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's anybody else who says that. You know, Vince is also we dead in. We dead in with laugh.
Well, my son coined that phrase.
Oh, seriously? Well, he's proper Vincey.
Pardon?
He's a proper Vincey then, yes. Because Vincey said that in.
Well, his father's intention. You see, Dr. Thompson, good morning.
Morning.
You learn, I'm not knocking you guys for running your show, you know, you whatever float your boat. But why you laugh at Dianna?
Because they called the wrong name.
Yeah, I actually thought he was talking to his wife. I thought she was probably listening. Which one of us is Yolanda this morning?
Oh, she's already gone to work.
Well, you called one of us, Yolanda.
I'm sorry. Somebody has to bring home the bacon, you know. I don't eat pork, but somebody got to bring home the bacon. Now, before I forget what I was about to say, I listened to another song this morning, and it brought back memories from when I was almost 6 years old. We watched South Winds. Doc, are you familiar with DV South Winds in Barbados?
I've heard of them, yes. I remember them, yes.
Yeah, very, very, I mean, I'm talking about top shelf resort.
Yes.
Our son, he came back from Barbados, and he had to give a report, as what his vacation was like. So you playing that song this morning, the roof's on fire. In Sunday school, my loving 6-year-old son said, we were at this hotel in Barbados, and there were a lot of people in the pool. The siren went off, and they started singing, the roof's on fire. We don't mind. We don't need no water. Let the bam, 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 bam burn. I mean, the graphic thing, I could have asked the auto opener to take me in, because he was this guy using profanity and not knowing what he was saying. And to top it off, he said, my daddy, nobody wasn't doing anything. My daddy ran out into the lobby and triggered the fire alarm. and the sprinklers were all over the place. And when we looked, there was no fire.
Oh, okay.
No, this was coming from a 6-year-old. So your song this morning reminded me of that. That's why I said I'm dead in.
Okay.
and the lyrics, I mean, the graphic lyrics, our son stood up in Sunday school. We don't need no water, let the blah, 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 burn.
I know
just thought that brighten things up.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry,
No problem.
go
No,
ahead.
I know that it's also featured in a hip hop song, and I think there's also a soca song. I was trying to remember the soca song to it, but yeah, it's generally featured in different genres.
Yes, and he was that poor innocent guy, and of course the church people are asking Joshua, how could you allow your son to say such a thing? The guy didn't know what you were saying. He heard it on the radio. If he heard it on the radio, he got to be right. Right, Doc?
Right.
You're not saying nothing.
I'm not too sure of that.
Yeah, there's no place like St. Vincent, because here in Bermuda, you might hear that in dancehall. I don't go to dancehall, but you can't play that, even if you beep it out, like some people beep it out. We don't need no water, let it pop, 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 burn. But you guys do it raw, man. You get the whole poke, and you wonder why I'm dead in.
All right.
Take care.
All right, to you too, Joshua. Okay. All right. So the person who was trying to call no. All right. So yes, we are in our Talk to Us, a segment for today. Message and see. All right. So somebody was trying to call a couple times this morning, so we're asking them to call back now. Okay. All right. So let's get into I didn't want to start the topic and then have to break. But all right. So yes, we are in our Talk to Us segment, and we are asking a question after this time. Hopefully the person tries to call quickly before I start.
Why you not call?
All right. So we are asking, for persons who show fake love at a funeral, should they know when not to attend? All right. So if you are one of those persons, you didn't forward with somebody while they were alive, why are you attending their funeral? And should some persons know when not to attend a funeral? All right. So I'm going to play a very short clip, and then we will discuss in a little bit. All right.
Half of y'all in this church, she did not mess with and she did not like. You, I don't even know why you here. Because you didn't mess with her.
Oh my God.
And on top of that, you talk bad about her. I don't even know why you here. Because you got a lot to say and ain't came and did nothing for her. I'm just waiting for you to say something, because I got a Henny and a Jimmy waiting on you.
Girl, you.
All right. So that was a daughter who attended her mother's funeral, and she looked in the congregation and saw persons there, and she was questioning, why are they there at her mother's funeral? The person, all right, let's take the call. All right, hi, Coach. Good morning.
Good morning. As to Josh, you need to use earbuds so you can put down the earbuds when certain songs are playing that you don't care for. There's a whole lot of different type of people living in the world today. Yeah. And so it's not only Christians. In terms of food, I'm of the opinion that wherever you're born or wherever you grow, there's food specifically for your environment, for your life there. You don't necessarily have to import food, but I could understand the importation of food, because today people are moving from one country to the next country and they come with a different taste bud and all that kind of stuff. And to say for my local people, I remember when saltfish was a poor-man food. Saltfish ain't poor-man food anymore.
Canned beef too?
Back in the days, back in the day, you could go by the shop. When I was a kid, we used to have a baby pack. I don't know much people do that now. And we could go by the shopkeeper and begging for a piece of saltfish and even cut down by the tail part Not the whole of the meaty part, no, but the tail part, and he give you that, and you go and cook the belly part. You can't get that now because they're not shopping in the neighborhood like that, selling them things anymore. So I mean, we we have evolved in a way that we want foreign food more than we want our local food. And when you come out here, this is the thing I don't understand. When you come out here, you're dying for the local food. I can tell you, my mother today will quickly die for a breadfruit from St. Vincent. And she could go by the corner stores and buy breadfruit. But if you tell she that breadfruit from St. Vincent, she'll pay you big bucks for it.
That was like me one time. Yeah, but that was like me one time when I was in Trinidad. I went to, I think it's the Tunapuna market. So in speaking with one of the vendors, she heard my accent and she asked me where I'm from. I told her St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And then she showed me, I think it must say a dasheen. And she said, that come from Vinci. So guess who bought the dasheen from Vinci?
You?
Yeah, of course.
That I'm telling you. So if we keep that taste bud, that when we travel with home, we don't have to import a whole lot of food because we could eat. And I say I agree with you already, sure, when they say you gotta be creative. Because be honest with you, I never heard somebody tell me what they do with breadfruit. Until I come out here, me never know they used to do all them things with breadfruit. You mount the recipes now they have with breadfruit. You could count them.
And that's the thing. We only know maybe breadfruit salad, roasted breadfruit, fried breadfruit. How else is the breadfruit here?
Cook up in soup and boil.
Right, boil up, right. But
you know they have breadfruit wine?
Well, you see, no. Yeah. So
I can tell you, there's so much thing that, and even Edos, instead of for binding food together, you could use Edo because it has that, that gumminess about it. It's not Edo that's put in sweet potato and coconut to bind it, to keep it. So I mean, we could be creative. As in, I think there's a lady who called long before say that when I think it's in 1972 around that time when Mitchell was thinking to go back to the land, you had banned a lot of the imported stuff, and Vincent used to be creative in creating dishes from the food that was grown. That's why I always say you could create you could create dishes from the food that you grow, because it's the same country that grow other stuff and package it and send it to you. It's their food that you eat in, so you could use your food and create those things. Chips and all them stuff, potato chips and plantain chips. You could create them, as I'm saying, is in packaging as usually. Some artists need to kind of like just give a person a little blind with a little design sometimes. Not to charge them no big money, give them a little blind, We have to help each other,
Yep.
When that person make it big, then they might be able to come and spend a couple $1,000 on a large set of designs. They might forget you too, They might forget you. They might go to another artist too much. We have to help out each other. Artists and creative peoples and food people, all we need to get in hands, hand and gloves together and create a really sweet product that we could be proud of. Make sure the designs are nice, make sure the packaging is nice. Because all it is, it's a pretty package after that, the design is where you need. Then you print the package and it blow up. Coca-Cola wasn't Coca-Cola before it blew up. It started small, everything started domination, baby.
Like the airport. Bye, Kojo. Bye, Kojo. Talk with you tomorrow. Later. All right, so we have another caller. Hi, Dave. Morning. Dave. Gosh.
Hi.
Oh, lovely. Good morning. How are you?
Well, you're listening to all this argument about food and food and food and how we eat it and so on. I tell you something, from the time barrels start coming from America, Vinci have adopted that taste, that foreign taste. I mean,
So interesting. That was as you say that, it reminded me of this song for Beckett's KFC. Lunch Kentucky, brunch
yes,
Kentucky.
that's
Yeah.
right.
I think there's a line in it that says it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Look,
And that is since
Look how the
barrels started coming
Chinese
from
can
there.
make the presence felt with what they
Not sure.
cook and so on. I remember I had to laugh to myself. One time, me and a member of parliament met in one of these Chinese food places in town, and well, I think he met me. Oh, I met him, but we sat down and we chatting and so on. And I'm talking about when they just came in, the first one up near opposite lanes up here. And this guy, I listening to him, I said, wow. I said, this guy is food conscious at all. I said, member of parliament, I ain't gonna call no names. And he's telling me they're really serving good food and they're giving you plenty. I say, yes, man. And I couldn't believe it. I just listening to this guy and, was hoping for something. I was expecting different from him where foods are concerned. But not everybody knows healthy food too. Get that you have to get that straight too. What I may enjoy as healthy food, you might call it rubbish or something of the sort. So it's an issue that has come upon us late in our, well, maybe because of our migrating to different places or going to America. And I hate to eat the food out of there's certain stuff, yes, but when you taste some of the food coming out, as they have a perfume taste or something about
barrel
it,
taste, nice barrel taste. Tastes like soap.
It turns me off, man. By the way, how is my girl here? She's so quiet. I hope she had a good weekend and so on after I spoke to her. Because it's, her problems are...
Dave, what problems? What problem I have? My only problem is I don't have enough money. That's my biggest problem.
Okay, and that is what all of us wanted to. Money.
That's my only problem.
Oh, but it brings out playing, talking about, different
Roleza was asking about me, where I live, about my living. Basically she was talking about neighbors checking on people and me checking on neighbors checking on each other, and that's how the topic came up. We come up talking about
man.
You think I sit down every day studying that? Like,
man.
I am happy for you then. I'm happy. But you know what? There's a problem I have too. We really don't feel proud of our food as we talk about foreign food and so on. One of the things I hate to hear, I hear an advertisement that's come on one of them station, macaroni pie and something. I said, what the hell? I eat macaroni pie already until I said, wait. I can tolerate that. And if I go somewhere and it's only macaroni pie, me no want none, right? But then that goes sound like a bad word to some people. So it's a matter of choice, and if you are intelligent,
but Dave, hold a second. You were suggesting
you know what is good
macaroni was
the best thing that you can do.
Macaroni is imported.
Is to have your own little kitchen garden. Well, I know a lot of inventions now. In certain circles, are getting more aware of planting lettuce and that sort of stuff. And, God for me, lettuce is something, if you can grow it at home around you have space and so on, that's the best lettuce for you. Tomatoes and that sort of stuff. Yeah, man. So I just... There are lots of other things and so on to talk about, but time today. Have a good day. Thank
All right,
you.
Dave, later.
We at one time we had 2 macaroni factories here.
We still have one at least.
Yeah,
one
that's
I know.
right. That's right. And macaroni is not a problem. The ingredients and so forth and things like that. Flour and all these other things. We bring in corn, we grind, we make flour. That's all manufacturing. It doesn't mean these are things I don't want to. If somebody wants to eat that, that's fine. That's choice.
I think one of the things, because we don't always know what is made here locally. Because even with this macaroni, because I did something for the company that did it, and it wasn't until I posted something, a lot of persons told me they did not realize that particular brand was local.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the times as well, too, it's the marketing. Maybe we don't emphasize it, or even, make that Vinci flag a little bit bold on the front.
Well, you see.
So that persons will know to go directly there to purchase it.
Really say you're correct, but it will also potentially take, if you have the money, the deep pockets, to be able to put the market, you benefit from it, but you may not have that marketing budget. That's a problem for some companies. You may say, man, spend the money, but they have their bottom line with wages, so forth, and everything like that, and they're applying a certain amount of marketing that another company, foreign company, is spending more money on marketing, and they can't match that up because their budget doesn't allow it.
Yeah, which is fair, but I suppose to me, when it comes down to the end of the day, when I go into the supermarket, I'd like to be able to see for sure, like on first instant, that this product has been made in SVG. Because I don't know how many of us actually pick up something and look at it.
We have to be very careful about that, because these same companies are marketing their produce in Trinidad, in Barbados, and so forth. So that if you go like Trump and say, only US first and only this and so forth, tariffs and other things, block the other ones from coming in.
You do have a point.
You don't want to really do. You want the ability to fair trade, to be able to go your product to retail.
All right, so I take that back, right? I will say, maybe we need to have a shelf within the supermarkets that has just the local products.
Well, you go and tell the supermarkets that. You tell the supermarkets that.
So I could go in and I could pick directly from there without having it big and bold on the product packaging. Because yes, you do have a point with that. All right. Because I want my stuff to be sold regionally as well.
And when you go Barbados, when you're Barbados and Trinidad, you also want to meet the products. You want to say,
correct,
we can't afford it because we only have Trinidad products in Trinidad and Barbados products in Barbados.
All right. Okay, so somebody is saying if we know that some folks deliberately hide SVG production, and that's interesting to me, but we might have to pick this up another day, all right? Because we are out of...
They said what?
So somebody was saying...
He said some folks deliberately hide the SVG production.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like to see that made in SVG tag or logo or whatever on all products. Once they're local, maybe, because that is my go-to in terms of first option of reference. So that's interesting. But we're going to have to definitely take this up at another time, as we are out of time and we are going to be heading directly into our community dateline. No.
Nothing else sounds as good as WEFM.